kung landlord kayo, if you happen to own an income property that you rent out, you lease out, what are the steps that a landlord has to take to prepare yung unit nila to go into the market for rental or lease? Kita niya? I'm preparing our unit actually today. We just had some upgrades done before the new tenants come in, and the contractors made a little bit of a mess. That's why Kuya Puto is here with gloves to make sure that the unit is spick and span again, because I have OCD and I can't hand off a property to tenants if it's not 1000% beautiful. Anyways guys, so say nakuha nyo na yung property ninyo. Meron na kayo second property with the intent to lease it out, with the intent to rent it out. Bago nyo gawin to, you have to figure out exactly magkano yung utang ninyo sa bangko. Okay, dahil typically dito sa Greater Toronto area, sa lugar namin, like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo, minimum, like a decent one, will run you $500,000. So you have to figure out kung magkano yung magiging mortgage payments ninyo and magkano yung i-charge ninyo sa renta. Because when you buy a condo, hindi lang mortgage payments as the owner ang kailangan yung pag-isipan. There's also property taxes and condo fees. Yes guys, condo fees can get really, really expensive, and sometimes it becomes the deal breaker between making the venture feasible and or making the venture cause you to lose money. Dahil isipin nyo, palagay nyo ng $500,000 ang bilhin ninyo dun sa income property ninyo, tapos palagay nyo na with the current interest rates the way they are here, magiging mortgage payment ninyo dun sa $500,000 na property na yon, maybe anywhere between $3,000 to $3,500. Tapos magbabayad pa kayo ng condo fees on top of that. Magkano yung i-charge nyo sa rent para hindi kayo lubog every month, di ba? So, it's a delicate balance, right? Dito, like for example, dito po sa lugar namin, rent for a 1-bedroom is anywhere between $2,500 to $2,800. Rent for a 2-bedroom is $2,800 to about $3,100 a month. Yun ang binabayad ng mga tenants sa inyo. And it's your responsibility as the owner, as the landlord, to make sure na yung binabayad sa inyo, mako-cover niyo yung expenses ninyo. Otherwise, every single month, it's gonna burn a hole in your pocket. Okay? Dahil, let's go back to the $500,000 example. Palagay nyo na, $500,000, like I said. Tapos, mortgage payment ninyo, $3,000. Tapos, meron kayong condo fee na $500. So $3,500 na, di ba? Ang obligation ninyo. Plus, you have to pay property taxes every month. Let's set the property tax at $250. Palagay mo na $300 a month. Okay, so your total obligation as a landlord to your income property, quote unquote, will be $3,800. Eh kung yung market rent is only $3,000, di kapos kayo ng $800. Diba? So kailangan aabonohan nyo yung $800 na yun. That's the dilemma that a lot of potential income property owners are facing right now. Dahil, isipin nyo, bibili kayo ng income property, yung mortgage nyo, ganito ang amount, tapos you can only rent it for this much. So, kapos kayo every single month. Ibig sabihin, kailangan abonohan nyo yun every single month, and napakasakit sa bulsa po nun. And on top of that, tandaan nyo, since you're the owner, anything goes wrong with that property, as in anything at all, if you have to do repairs, sa bulsa nyo po mangyagaling yun. Sabi nila, dati, it doesn't really apply right now unless you've been in the market for a very long time and you got in when the market was good. Sabi po nung mga nagturo sa akin, if you can charge 1% of your total obligation to rent, that's like the best ratio that you can work with. But so palagay nyo na utang nyo $100,000, right? Tapos 1% ng $100,000 na utang is $1,000. So if you can charge $1,000 in rent for a property that you owe $100,000 towards, that's the best ratio that you can work with as a landlord. But unfortunately ngayon, in the economic climate that we're in with, mortgage rates like up the roof, it doesn't quite apply. It's hard to make it apply. So, medyo mahirap po talaga. Maraming nagsasabi, bumili kayo ng income property, it's passive income. Bumili kayo ng mga maraming paupahan, para yumaman kayo. It's not that simple, guys. It's not that simple. Lahat po nung nagsasabi noon, siguro, either number one, they've been in the market for a very long time and they've been doing this for a very long time and they were able to get into the market when the market was low and the market was good. Or, number two, they just don't have any idea of what they're talking about. Okay? Dahil balance po yan. It's a very, it's a very delicate balancing act. Okay? Dahil yung iba pong tao, gagawin nila, bibili sila ng income property, tapos yung total obligations nila every month towards that property versus the rent that they charge, kapos. But they take on, aabonohan po nila yan. As in, aabonohan nila ng aabonohan hanggang bearable yung abono na gagawin nila. Because they're banking on the appreciation of the property. So, let me explain that even further. Ganito. So, kunyari, bumili kayo ng income property, di ba? Tapos, total obligation ninyo is $3,000. Pero you can only rent it for palagay nyo ng $2,800. So, abono kayo ng $200 a month, di ba? Yung ibang tao po, ayos na sa kanila yon. Because they look at the property itself as an investment and they're banking on the appreciation of that property over time para mabawi nila yung inaabono nila na $200 every month. And that has worked in the past dahil, like for example, the last 3 years dito sa Ontario, sa Greater Toronto area, yung pong prices ng mga property sumabog. So kahit po nag-aabono kayo, if you got into the market, say 3 years ago, nakabili kayo for example ng property for say $500,000. Okay? Tapos pinarentahan ninyo. So kahit nag-aabono kayo, ayos lang because after a year and a half, that $500,000 that you paid for that property, ngayon $650,000 na siya. And yun po nangyari. Nangyari po yun. That happened. That was a very common occurrence during COVID, during the pandemic. Before COVID, if you bought a property for like say $500,000, okay? You wait 1 year, there's so many people that sold that $500,000 property for like $650,000 or more. Sumabog po lahat. So kahit po nag-aabono sila every month for like $200, $300, $400, $500, sulit na sulit because the return that they got from the appreciation of the property basically covered yung inaabono nila on a monthly basis times 100. So back then it was worth it. Ngayon medyo it's a little tricky right now dahil like I said, the economy is down. Like real estate prices dito sa Ontario and all over Canada, it dropped at least 20 to 30% depending on where you are. So mga investors po ngayon, they're a little bit, medyo, they're waiting by the sidelines to see what's going to happen with the interest rates and the house prices, diba? But yeah, so going back, I don't want to go off topic. So kung landlord kayo, tapos meron kayong rental property that you plan to lease out and you've worked out all your numbers already and it seems to agree with what your future plans are, the next step is to find good renters. Ako po, I don't have the time nor the resource nor the patience to screen people. So what I did was I hired a company, a property management company dito sa Mississauga, Ontario, Greater Toronto area. They're called Condo One. So in Condo One, what they do is you sign up with them, you give them the details of your property, and they have this data, they have this network where, you know, people look for places to lease, right? So what they do is they basically hunt down potential candidates. So, and if your unit is one of those desirable units, you can get them rented in like less than a couple days. Like right away, they would have a list of potential renters for you to look over. So Condo One, what they do, like I said, is they find potential renters for you. And once they compiled, you know, 2 or 3, maybe sometimes 4 candidates, depending kung gaano ka desirable yung unit ninyo, they will present it to you. But before they present it to you, they would have screened all of those potential renters. What do you mean by screen, Kuya Puto? So screen, they do a background check, they do a criminal check, they do an employment check, they do a credit check to make sure that A, they can afford the rent that's set, and B, that way they can pretty much, like based on numbers, they can pretty much figure out whether this person has got like a good credit history or not, if they can pay their bills or if they pay their bills on time. But the most important is that they are employed. So they do all of the screening and all the background checks, and once they've compiled a list of people that wants to rent from you, they present it to you. And then it's up to you as the property owner to pick which one it is that you want to rent the apartment to or the condominium to, right? And what they do is they charge 5% of whatever the rent is. Yes, that's their monthly fee is 5%. But the good thing about that, if you're in the business of renting or leasing income properties, all of those expenses na you would incur, they're tax deductible at the end of the year. So, you know, it's all good, right? So once that's set up, right? Once Condo One has set up the tenants and they move in, so you hand them the keys, and every single month, the tenants don't deal with me. They deal with Condo One because I don't have time. I don't want to deal with tenants. I don't want to deal with people, right? So everything that's got anything to do with managing the property would be Condo One, the property management company. So at the end of the month, when they pay me rent, what happens is they pay Condo One, and then Condo One sends me the funds, minus their fees on a monthly basis. If there's something that needs to be addressed, any issues, any repairs, the tenants go straight to Condo One. Condo One talks to me. They tell me what the problem is. They give me an estimate of whatever the bill might be, and then, you know, we discuss numbers, and then either I give them a yes or a no to get whatever repairs or whatever issue addressed. So that's basically how it works. And yeah, so pag umalis yung tenants ninyo, you just go through the process once again. Paikot-ikot lang yan. You just gotta be really, really careful nowadays because the numbers are very hard to make agree with your future plans on what to do, right? Dahil everybody is saying, oh, sige, bumili ka ng paupahan. Oh, sige, madali yan. Oh, sige, passive income yan. That passive income, that term, that's bullshit. Sorry. Yeah, that's bullshit. Okay? Everybody that tells you it's easy to make passive income is bullshit. It's BS. Okay? You have to work for it, man. I mean, that shit don't happen overnight. You gotta work for it, boo-boo. Okay? Pag sasabihin nila, oh, just do this, and then, you know, you're gonna receive money every single month, and it's easy, you don't have to do anything. Whoever is saying that to you doesn't know what they're talking about. It's bullshit. Okay, you have to work for every single thing that you want in this world, okay? It doesn't happen overnight. So make sure the numbers work. Make sure that you deal with a reputable management company if that's the route that you want to take. And make sure that you pick the right condo. You pick the right income property. That is so important. I can't even stress that, because yung ibang tao, they're just happy to just be like property owners. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, because at one point, ganun din po kami ni Mrs. dati, but you have to be smart with your money, especially in today's economy, right? So, kung bibili kayo, make sure it's in an area that's in high demand if you're gonna rent it out. That way, you'll never have any problems, finding renters. Okay? Katulad po dito sa lugar namin, I'm not saying this is the best building, because it's not. There's way more better buildings out there than the one that we're in, but we are centrally located. Like, we are literally steps away from Square One Shopping Mall, which is the biggest mall, I guess, dito sa Ontario. And it's like right there. I can walk to it. Location, location, location. I cannot stress that enough. So yeah, I hope I was able to give you some tips. If you're aspiring to be a property owner, income property owner, and that's what you want to do. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. Sometimes you're gonna sasabihin nyo sa sarili nyo, shit, is all of this work really worth it? Like, is this ever gonna pay off? Tandaan nyo, if you do this line of side hustle, you're doing the long game. Okay, long game. All right, you're hoping for your aim is to play the long game. Those times where you buy a property ngayon, and then a year later it goes up like $100,000, $200,000. I think those times are done. That was an anomaly. That was a one-time thing that I don't think will happen again. If it does, then great, but I don't think it's gonna happen again. But it did happen during COVID. So all of those people that took advantage of it, they're in a really good position right now. But yeah, just like anything else, some people miss out, some people take advantage. And yeah, so okay, I have to go back to work now, because I need to be out of here in a couple hours, because I got stuff to do. Kaya nga may gloves si Kuya Puto. I have to go clean and do a whole bunch of stuff, make sure that this is prepped for tomorrow for my new tenants. So hey guys, thank you for joining me, all 6 of you right now. This is Kuya Puto wishing you good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay hungry, stay humble, keep your hustle strong. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.